Are we live?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
We live?
Yeah.
Okay, so I ain't gonna curse.
Make sure the camera's right. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Hold up. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Bro, you, man. Queens native.
Queens native, man.
Queens native.
We go way.
Professional basketball player. 12-year career.
Yeah, still going, bro.
Still going. So, I guess I'm going to start at the beginning. Born in St. Louis. Grew up in Queens. I mean, I bounced around a little bit. But
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, bro. Where did your passion come from?
It was how much fun we had. You know, like we weren't in the highest league, but we had fun. Like every game was fun. You know.
We love. Let me make sure the camera's right. Let me make sure the camera's tight. Are we live? Hold up. Let me make sure the camera's right. Let me make sure the camera's tight. Are we live? Oh yeah. Big Flea, CO here. Back at it again, y'all. Back at it again. Are we live, y'all? Are we live? Episode 51. Are we live? Episode 51, y'all. I want to thank y'all so much for tapping in with me as I bring y'all the latest edition of Are We Live. As always, like, share, comment. Save this episode once I post it, y'all. Save this episode once I post it. Throw a little scream emoji in the comment. Let me know you in the house with me today. Let me know you rocking with me today. Big show ahead. Hope everybody is having a blessed and safe week. Quick reminder. Wanted to remind you all that I will be bringing you guys Are We Live starting Monday, September 6th on the Ballin' for Peace Network. I made that announcement last week. Just wanted to give y'all a quick reminder. So that'll be Monday, September 6th. So tap in with us. We're going to be rocking. We're going to be bringing y'all much more content, much more editions of Are We Live. So stay locked in with us. I appreciate y'all all. Special thanks to my dog, Mr. Melquan Bolden, for tapping in with us last episode. If you ain't see that or hear that, you can check that out on all major podcast platforms. And you can go watch that episode back on my page right here. Great episode, great conversation. Go ahead and check him out. Today, I have somebody joining me today that I have some serious admiration for. I've been watching this guy since I was a kid. He's, in my opinion, a Queens legend, a basketball lifer, just legendary for what he's done on the court and what he continues to do off the court. Just the epitome of a point guard. Let me throw up a quick flick of who I'm talking about. We're going to be having Mr. Cliff Clinkscales joining us today. Cliffy, a lot of us know him by the General, the Colonel, you know, just the quintessential point guard. So he's going to be joining us in just a second. Looks like he's in the house already. So without further ado, we're going to get this good conversation rolling and get a chance to hear his. Again, I appreciate y'all so much for tapping in with me. And we're going to get this going. My dog.
Yo, what's good, man?
Cliff, appreciate you so much for doing this with me, man. Appreciate
no problem. Appreciate you having me.
Nah, man, this is an honor, man. This is an honor. I've been trying to get you on for a while, and I'm just glad we're able to organize this, man. Thank you again.
Yeah, no problem, man. No, timing is everything, man. So I'm glad to be here.
Yes, definitely, brother. But let me do this right. As always, I like to give y'all flowers. Start this the right way, introduce you properly. So just give me a second. Let me do that for you, brother.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know who y'all looking at, we got a Queens legend, in my humble opinion. We got a basketball lifer. We got the epitome of what a quintessential point guard is. A legend on and off the court. Just continues to do great work in the basketball community. Please help me welcome to the show, the General, Mr. Cliff Clinkscales, y'all.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it, man. I like what you got going on, man. And I told you I had you, man. I really don't be doing these lives and podcasts, but I like what you got going on. Plus, you from the town, so it's only right I had to pull up.
Yo, as I said a few minutes ago, Cliff, I appreciate you so much, brother. Again, something new that I'm starting, that I'm getting this platform going. You support me from the jump, and
Right.
so thank you, brother. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah,
man.
yeah. No problem. No problem.
Let's do this, man. Let me jump right in, man. Like I was saying, man, I've been watching you, you know, from afar for a long
Right.
time, man, since a kid, man. You are probably one of the most craftiest, most unselfish players that I've ever been able to watch. And that's a true love for the game. I can see the true love for the game in you. Where did that come from, man? Where did your introduction to the game come from? Why you so in love with the game of basketball?
My introduction to the game actually came from my older sister. My older
Okay.
sister, the one who put the ball in my hand, she kind of grew up with boys growing up in our neighborhood. So she was kind of like a tomboy growing up, and she just started taking me to the park with the ball on my block when I'm from. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens, born and raised.
Okay.
The block I'm from is 107 and 164. On my block, we had a basketball court that's right on my block. It's just right on my block. Just walk about 30 feet. So I was
You know what
always
you're talking
right
about,
there.
right on the corner.
Yeah, right on the corner. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my block I born and raised on. So all started for me right there, just my imagination. Then, of course, watching the older guys hoop and just me sitting on my ball watching them hoop. And then
Yeah, yeah.
finally to get on the court, then playing with my childhood friends. So that's where it all started from with me.
Got you. So you a lefty, man.
Yeah.
You a tough guard, Queens, specifically South Jamaica. That culture, you know, for us, you know, we grow up seeing a lot of tough guards come out of the city. I know your game is patent probably behind a lot of guards. You've taken a lot of things from a lot of guys. Who are some guys that you've been watching, you know, as a kid growing up that you took from their game during your development?
Well, the first time my father is like a basketball junkie, and
Okay.
my older brother also played ball. His name is Dion Jones. So the time I got with them and being around basketball, my father used to make these point guards tapes. Everybody, like the best point guards in the country from college and high school. So the first time I seen Kenny Anderson point guard tape, high school, Malloy, and then I watched it all the way from Malloy to Georgia Tech to the NBA. So after I seen that, and then he was from my neighborhood. He was also from my neighborhood. Then he moved to Left Rack when he was about 11, but he lived right around the corner from my house. So the same court I grew up playing on, he grew up on. So when
Yeah, a
I
lot of people
learned
don't
all
know
that,
that. A lot of people
yeah,
don't
a
know
lot of
that.
people
Yeah.
don't know that at all. Like I'm from 164. He's like the next block over. So
Okay.
the same court I grew up playing on, he grew up playing on. And when I see he was a lefty, from there I try to pattern my game after him, from everything
Okay.
always down to the jersey number. So
Yeah.
my favorite player of all time is Kenny Anderson. Like that's the guy I look up to. That's my idol. That's who I try to pattern my game after, which is hard. Big shoes to fill. I know I don't probably, but that's who I
Of
look up
course.
to.
Of course, but I'm again, my humble opinion, you've had a great career, brother. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? You did your job in filling them shoes, man. But
Right.
again, inner city kids, you know, it's tough to stay out of the wrong places, stay away from the wrong things and stuff like that. You know, navigating your way through the basketball world as a kid is hard. You know, you sometimes need those mentors and those coaches. Anybody that you want to speak on right now, any coaches or mentors that you could speak on that help Cliff, you know what I mean, navigate early?
Well, mentors, father mentor. My grandfather, somebody I look up to. That's my hero. Anybody that know
Okay.
me for real, like that's my heart. Like I look up to him. That's my role model. That's who I look up to. But far as my mentor, who kept me on the right track, as far as basketball, is my pops.
Okay.
His name is Clarence. Everybody know him from Mr. C. Like that's who engraved in me this. He was around the game. He played in the streets, obviously, but he's a basketball junkie. He's like we call him a guru. Like he
Okay.
knows basketball in and out. So that's the guy who had me watching these tapes, studying the game, bringing me the tournaments, bringing me all these places and just watching and watching and watching. That's who I already had it in me. I was already naturally gifted as a kid, obviously.
Okay.
So, but then after that, getting the mental part of the game and learning the game and all that stuff, I've been had it since I was young. But watching them tapes and studying them film is really what I try to pass along to anybody beside me. What he did for me, I started doing for my brothers that I call my brothers. I pass the tapes along. Anybody that know me,
Right.
I used to carry these tapes along everywhere I went. I used to have them with me.
That's
So
dope.
I go to
dope.
somebody's crib, I pop them in, like, so
Yeah.
everybody, so that's how it was.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire, man. Like you said, as a youngster, you was gifted, man. Doing my homework, I don't remember this story, but you had an opportunity to be at ABCD camp as a fifth grader, right?
Right.
And that brings you to some like national recognition, some national prominence.
Right.
The Oprah Show, Rosie O'Donnell, Slam Magazine, all that kind of stuff. How did you handle that early on as a youngster? You know what I mean? Looking back, how did you handle that attention early on?
Well, it was a gift and a curse, I would say, but
Okay.
that was kind of like the being at the right place at the right time. It wasn't even planned. Like I said, I was my pops. I was there watching my older brother who was invited to the camp.
Okay.
But I was the kid that always dressed in basketball clothes, and everywhere I went, I carried my ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there actually watching him play. So
Okay.
when we would go up there to ABCD, that's when it was in New Jersey. It's games all day. They got about 4 or 5 courts, and you just play games. So when we go up there, we'd be up there for the day. So every time a court will open up or every time a game go on break, I just get on the court, start shooting around, dribbling.
Okay.
And then, ABCD is like a week long. So by like day 2 or 3, people started noticing me handling the ball, making shots, and then it just became a thing. Like I started dribbling my ball around camp. The campus was trying to steal it, who was obviously in the camp. And I knew some players that was already there, like Lamar Odom, because my brother played with the Panthers. So
Okay.
he started betting on me that they can't steal the ball from me and all that. And it just became a thing from there. And then it got me some interest from college coaches at that young age.
Okay.
Couple of scouts. I mean, all the big blue blood schools was there, like Kansas and UNC and all these guys just started following me from that day. And that's when I got the letters from USC, Kansas,
That's
and
dope.
North Carolina and stuff like that.
As a fifth grader getting those letters, that got to be special. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That was a crazy. And from there, just continuous. It was like it carried on to 6th grade. Then they started finding where I went to school. So I would get to school and there'd be cameras and people there waiting for me.
That's crazy.
It started, it got real crazy. A lot of people don't know. Like, it started really getting crazy. It got crazy. Then it kind of made my mom kind of worry, like kind of shook her up. Like, let's hold on now. This is a kid. So it got from people following me to school, people finding my phone number, calling, doing interviews.
Wow. Okay.
So it got really, 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 really wild.
Okay. That's a dope experience though, as a youngster.
Yeah.
So, going through that time, right? You kind of, starting to transition into getting into high school, right?
Right.
I had watched a previous interview of yours, and you mentioned a story that you haven't told often. Not many people know, but your great friends, your best friend is Dayon Merritt.
Right.
He went to St. Raymond's.
Right.
You mentioned you had the opportunity to go to Rice, but didn't go. Can you talk about that story and tell us a little bit about why you didn't ultimately go to Rice?
Well, growing up and from 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, everybody assumed that I was going to Cardozo. That's what, when the rankings come out, how it used to be back in the days when they used to put your high school. Mine always used to say Cardozo.
Okay.
So say Cardozo. But I was playing with a team and we was all growing up playing with this team called Coach Modesta, which is the Panthers. Okay. We had like all the best 6th graders, 7th grade. All of us was the same age. Then I started hearing these guys saying the schools they was going to. So at one point, my mom, we moved to like East New York, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the freshman coach, the dude named Wally Gerber, he was the freshman coach at Rice. Mm-hmm. He wound up living like right around the corner from my house. Okay. So Rice started recruiting me, wanted me to go. But me not taking, like, just me personally, I never liked the school. Like, I hate school. Like, wasn't my thing. So I tell my mom that I'm supposed to go take a placement test. But me procrastinating, telling my mom, like, yo, Mom, school rolling around the summer here now, it's 8th grade. I'm supposed to go up to Rice, take the placement test. I wound up never going. Like, just being a kid, never going. So time was ticking. Wally, like, my whole 8th grade year, I would come home from junior high school, and sometimes he'd be at my crib.
Okay.
I get in the crib, he there talking to my mom, telling me the stuff I got to do, but I just never went and took the test, basically. So when time when school came up, my zone school, because I still had a Queens address, was Springfield. So when I
Okay.
told my mom, it was like maybe one day left. I'm like, yo, mom, I got to go to Harlem to the school Rice and take this test. But school about to start soon, like real soon. So she wasn't jacking it, like, you
Okay.
gotta.
The timetable is too
She
close
like,
now.
what you mean? Like, nah,
Okay.
you ain't going all the way to Harlem with who? By yourself? Like, nah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
You going to your zone school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just over. After that, it was just that's what it was. I went to my zone
Damn.
school.
Damn. I'm thinking back to that time when you
Right,
would have been going in the Rice,
right,
being a part of all of those point guards, all those great point guards coming out of there, man. That's dope. That's
right.
that's a dope story, man. So you spent a year at Springfield, don't play, but then make, in my opinion, a huge life decision
Right.
and decide to go down to Ocala, Florida, and attend Shores Christian Academy.
Right.
Now, funny thing, my stepmother's mother is from Ocala, so I've been
Wow.
down there a few times. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's a
crazy.
super small town and stuff like that,
Very.
right? But what goes into that decision, man? That's a huge decision to make at such an early age. What goes into that decision?
That was the best decision I made in my life. Actually, it saved my life and my
Wow.
basketball career, to be honest.
Okay.
It wasn't even I was in Springfield for almost like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Now, I mean, at first I was embarrassed to be in Springfield because all my friends, they all went to Catholic school. Cam
Okay.
went to Rice. I had another kid that I used to run, Wesley Walker. Me and him, the only two out of our whole team, wound up going to public school because
Okay.
me and him did the same thing as far as not taking the school serious. He wound up
Okay.
going to Newtown. I wound up going to Springfield. But hey, all my friends, you got Christ the King, you got Rice, you got
All of
St.
them.
Raymond's. Like everybody going to Catholic school. I wound up going to public school. So it was like, so when I get to Springfield, I'm kind of embarrassed that I go there. Like, so when I'm like my first, like nobody even knew I went to Springfield. Like even people in the school, I
Oh,
was
they didn't
just
even
going
know
to.
you was there.
Nah, I was going to school so
Okay.
early, and
Uh-huh.
I was going to all my classes, and I was just jetting from class to class, like
Okay.
trying not to let people see me, like, cause I'm like,
Okay.
damn, like. So I'm in there, and then one day I came late to school. One day, like when I come late to school, you gotta wait till the next bell ring. When I get in the lunchroom,
Okay.
the lunchroom is crazy. It's active, like people everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, so I asked somebody like, yo, I look at the time like, yo, this lunchroom like this every day like this. They like, yo, every day is like this. And after that, it just turned me out. I made sure every day I showed up at that time. Like, oh, now
You
it's
start
lit.
you start timing it, right,
I
Cliff?
started
Like,
coming to school
yeah.
late on purpose, like missing
Okay.
first and second period. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to class. It's over with. Like, it's
Right.
crazy
Right.
here. So wound up happening the whole time I'm in there. I'm not doing no schoolwork. It's over. Like, my mom don't even know.
Okay.
She started working.
Okay.
I'm living in Brooklyn, but I'm traveling away from Queens to Brooklyn, which is not far. I was on the borderline. But my
Okay.
mom's, her job at the time was based in the Bronx. So she don't really know what's going on. Like,
Okay.
she know I'm going to school, but she don't know I'm not going to no classes while I'm in school.
Got you.
So want to make a long story short, Nate Blue, anybody know Nate Blue, the GOAT?
Yo,
Nate Blue
Cliff, real fast. This is the third interview in a row with a Nate Blue mention. Let me let you keep going. But this is the third one in a row with a Nate Blue mention. Shout out to Nate Blue, man.
Shout out to Nate Blue. Nate Blue hits my best friend Dion.
Okay.
Like, yo, I got a prep school in Florida that's looking for some players, and it was a kid there that needed a roommate.
Okay.
His name is Lou Rodriguez. He's from Harlem. He's
Okay.
from Washington Heights. That's my brother. He was at Rice with Kiki and them.
Okay.
He hits Dion. Dion like, yo, I'm good. And this how I get in prep school. Dion like, yo, send Cliff. So he's like, word, Cliff. And they hit me. I tell my mom.
Okay.
My mom is not jacking it. Like,
she not with it.
Nah,
She's still not with it. Okay.
She ain't with it. Like move to Florida. Like, live with who? Like,
Right.
she don't know nobody. I don't know nobody. It really wasn't a lot of information. So I'm like, yo, mom, I got a school. She like, no. Like, no. Dumb, like a hard no.
Right.
So I'm ducking Nate for a couple of days. I wound up hitting Nate like, yo, Nate, just give me a couple of days. I'm gonna get through it. Like,
Okay.
So my mom come in one day. I sit her down. I'm like, yo, look, man. Like, at this point, I ain't even ask her. I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, man, look.
I'm going.
If I want to play basketball, this is what I want to do. I love ball. I need to make this move to Florida.
Okay.
To change my situation with this school. Like,
right.
Because if I don't do this, it's over. Like,
yeah.
She's looking at me. We talk. She's like, all right, I'll let you go. She wound up talking to the people who host me because I live with a host family. And it's just so crazy that Nate didn't even know much about the school. To be honest with you, it wasn't like he knew he was putting me in a good situation. Not saying he was putting me in a bad situation. Somebody
is this
just
a prominent prep school at the time?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's what people don't even know, but it's not. It was
Okay.
a Christian school.
Okay.
And the people I wound up living with, they owned the school.
Okay.
They the people that opened the school up. They was the owner of the school.
Okay.
What wound up happening with their school was there was a Christian school that was in the like the public school, like let's say the PSAL.
Mm-hmm.
And they got in trouble for recruiting players, so they got banned. So they got banned. So basically, they was bringing players in from other states where what you can't do, you can't recruit players to your school. Mm-hmm. That was the rule. So they got banned from like the public school league in Florida, and they turned prep.
Okay.
So that's what happened. My first year there, it was their very first year turning prep. We didn't even play a lot of games. We only played like 16 games my first year. Nobody knew over the school.
Okay.
And then after the years got stronger, people start figuring out. We started getting more players, and that's how that situation went.
Because I can recall you saying, so you go from playing 16 games to playing 42 games.
Yeah, my last senior year, yeah.
Okay, that's
42
crazy.
Games, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. So,
yeah.
So before heading down to Florida, right? You spend that time in Springfield, right? But before Springfield, the buzz is high for Cliffy. Right. Everybody knows Cliffy. Everybody, where's Cliffy going to high school? We ready Dozo. Where he going, right? You make that transition, Springfield. You go down the shores, right? When you heading down there, is there a chip on your shoulder? How are you? What's your mindset when you approaching that first year down there in Florida?
All right, so that's good. Like, 'cause the transition. All right, so the buzz, to be honest, was always from like 5th grade to about like 8th grade. Then it started dying down a little bit. I'm not saying because I fell off. Like, people, not to sound cocky, but people started catching up. Like, people was getting better. Everybody grew taller than me. I was still the same size. I ain't grow.
Okay. So
when I get to Springfield, if I didn't do the right thing from coming in Springfield, I would be starting varsity as a freshman. That was a no-brainer. Like, I was probably the best player at the school at the time.
Okay.
So, but at that time, now I ain't doing nothing. Now I ain't playing. People don't know I'm not playing AAU basketball. I'm not on no team. So it's like I'm really not doing nothing. Honestly, I'm just playing like in local tournaments. Want to be real, like while my friends is traveling with AAU, I'm not doing none of that. So at this point, I have no buzz. Like, it's really over. Ain't nobody really thinking about Cliff. Honestly, want me to be honest.
Okay.
People still know I can play, but it's like he ain't playing for his team. He ain't playing for his school. So it's like, what is he doing?
Gotcha.
So when I get to Florida, it's a whole different ball game. It's like my mind, not being cocky, my mind is not even on like basketball. When I get down there, I'm strictly focused on books. I'm saying to myself, all right, Cliff, take care of your books. And I know, like, at some point, my game would do the talking again, and I would get back on the track.
Not many people say that, Cliff.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not even worried about the basketball part. Like, I know deep down I could play. Like, this is not even like the whole time I'm in Springfield, I didn't have no prep school. People asking me, like, people know, because while I'm in Springfield, I don't know if you know, it was a TV show called Hollow Ground that wound up airing, like Rucker Park, me playing as kid, came on TNT.
I remember.
So while I'm in Springfield, I go to school that Monday. Everybody looking like, yo, that's the kid that was on Hollow Ground. So now the teachers know, the principal know, like everybody knows. So now this is how really like the teachers, the principal, everybody really get on me. Like, they on my back now, chasing me every day in school. Like, I'm not even running I'm running from the teachers. Like, they're trying to get me in class. Like, it was crazy, but I was just hard. But like when I got to Florida, it was different. I'm living with Caucasian people, white people. So
Okay.
when I get there, I have a talk with them. They let me know, like, you know, the school is tuition. You ain't got to pay nothing. You might have to work some jobs on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I'm willing to do whatever. Like, whatever I got to do. All I'm thinking about books. Like, I take care of my books. I know I'm going to, everything else going to take care of itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So it just wound up happening. I fell in a great situation. Like, the people I live with owned the school. It's they school, ain't like it's they school. So that means I had the keys to the gym.
Oh, so you in there whenever you want to be in there. Getting there work.
I'm grinding. Like,
oh, man.
I'm in school. Me and my man Lou, who's my brother, my man Lou Rodriguez.
Okay.
We start school at 8. We waking up at 6. We having and the people I live with, he was a pastor because it was a Christian school.
Okay.
And she worked in the office. So he'd drop us off in the morning. We getting it in in the morning before school.
That's a blessing.
So
that's
I had
blessing,
the key,
brother.
Every day I'm in the gym. We had a little weight room. I'm in the weight room. I'm doing my push-ups. Like, I'm grinding. So that's like, I'm just worried about the books at this point. Then what made the books better, it was a smaller school. The school is it started at pre-K all the way to go to 12th grade.
Okay.
And the whole school is only about, at the best, 80 students.
So you get more attention to who's
right.
there. Got
so,
you. Got you.
In Springfield, I got hired. 30, 40 people in the class.
In the class, yeah.
No, my teacher ain't really thinking about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm in the back. I can walk out. I ain't paying attention.
Yeah.
Now I get in the classroom. It's 10 of us, 8 of us.
Okay.
I got to lock in now.
Right.
So they helping me out. They focusing me on my grades. The people letting me know you take care of this. And then that's what I did. I just made sure I had good grades. Like, I ain't never had nothing like over 80, under 80, 85 average there. Just doing my work. And you know how that go. When you're showing interest in your work, yo, I don't understand this. Come see me after school. I'm taking care of this. So
people willing to help.
Right?
Yeah,
when you're willing to help yourself.
Yeah.
So
that's dope, man. That's dope. You know, because a lot of people don't take that mindset when they're going away, and basketball is so important, right?
Right.
It's like basketball, you got to play, so I'm going to do the bare minimum to stay on the court. Now, you trying to excel in the classroom, man. That's super commendable, man. So you go down the shores, though, on the basketball court, you bugging out, though.
Right.
Wow. Let me give you flowers, brother. You bugging out down there. Going into your senior year, you averaging like 30 points a game, 12 dimes a game, right?
Right.
When does your game start to mature? When does your game start to like go to the next level and you realize like, okay, I could play Division I basketball?
Yo, it's a funny. I always knew I was gonna be Division. This is like a funny. My freshman year, right? My coach is new to the school. I'm new to the school. So he getting to know everybody. We having individual one-on-one meetings, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So for some reason, I got a letter. I don't even know how. My first letter was from a school called, what's the name of this school? It was a very low Division I school. Like, I forgot the name of it. It was like, but anyway, he tells me the letter, showed me. I'm like, I look at it like, he's like, yeah, this school seems like, I'm like, oh, all right. So he looking at me, he seeing my face. So I'm like, I know, like, I'm not going there, but I appreciate. So he asked me, the coach, like, where you think you could play at? You know me, I started naming all the schools I be watching. St. John's, UConn, North Carolina. Like, he looked at me like with a face like, yeah, you know you got a lot of work to do. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I know I ain't going there. Like,
right.
And
but you got that dog in you. You already know.
So I'm like,
okay.
So I took that as like, oh, he don't believe. So it just filled me even more like,
okay,
just make sure I put the work in. But I could say around my junior year, when I hit a little growth spurt. I'm not going to say I grew mad tall, but when I left, I was probably like, let's say like 5'7" maybe.
Okay.
When I went down there, I grew to like 6'1".
Okay,
so the air was different. I went through a little spurt.
Okay.
So I got a little big. I put some muscle on, like just doing my push-ups every day because I literally had nothing to do. The only thing I had to do was go to school and play ball. Like I said, the people I lived with, he was a pastor. God rest his soul. He passed away.
God rest his soul. Like, definitely, yes.
I was just doing push-ups every day, like trying to do 500 push-ups, 1,000 push-ups. So I was just making sure I was just trying to stay doing something. Then I was in the gym.
Okay. Okay. So again, all that work you putting in, right? I saw you mention that the exposure wasn't enough though at that school.
Right.
You get the opportunity now.
Excuse me.
Bless you, brother.
Thank you.
You get the opportunity now to play AAU for the Atlanta Celtics, right?
Right.
Josh Smith, a young Dwight Howard. Now both these guys are going straight to the league, no college, right? And that's probably one of the best AAU teams of all time, right?
Yeah.
Right, Cliff? Like all time, right? Talk to me about that experience and what that did for your recruiting process.
That's what kind of like got the ball back rolling. Like,
okay.
So my sophomore year, going to my junior year, my coach, who I'm playing for at the time at the prep school, he mentioned them. Like, he asked me, do I want to play AAU? Because remember, at this time, I'm telling you, I'm not even playing AAU.
You're not even playing AAU, okay.
I'm not playing AAU. He like, yo, you want to play AAU? But he might have named, I think he named, like, it was a team on the Adidas circuit named the Tallahassee Wildcats.
Okay.
That was like Darius Washington, and my roommate was Lou Rodriguez.
I remember D-Wash.
Yeah, Lou Rodriguez was on that team.
Okay.
So he was asking me, I'm like, nah, if I do play AAU, I'm just going to play with somebody from back at the crib because I was going home in the summertime. So I started playing AAU with Gary Reginum, the Long Island Panthers. But my pops, like I told you, is a basketball junkie. Like, he knew every player in the country. He know, like, everybody. He showed me an article of them dudes, like Dwight Howard. He's like, yo, these guys right here, they going out of high school. Like, they ain't touching college. He showed me these. I remember they was in the slam. So he knew somebody, like, it was a guy named Waller Prather who wound up passing away. He knew his son or something. So it was something where I was supposed to go and try out for them, but it wound up not happening for whatever reason. I think I was playing with the Celtics. But I was going to play – I ended up playing with the Panthers, but I was originally supposed to play for the Atlanta Celtics.
Okay.
But I wound up playing with Gary Charles. And I'm playing with Guy. I'm playing well in some tournaments, but at that time, Guy is really pushing it's a guard named Josh Wright, who was nice. He wound up playing at Syracuse, and he was my man.
Okay.
And we was loaded at the guard, so we was mad at us. My man, one of my best friend, Cam, he on the team.
Cam Tyler, shout out Cam.
We had young Vic Morris. He was young at the time. Then we had another guard from like Philly who was he was tough too. So it was a lot of us. So I wound up playing like one more tournament with Guy, and I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm not playing with y'all no more. Like, this is Guy ain't really letting me rock how I need to be rocking. And I'm playing all right, but I could be playing better. I know this. But Guy wound up bumping into Wallace Prather. And Wallace was like, yo, I got a point guard from New York I'm supposed to have, man. Because the word on the street, the Atlanta Celtics was good. They were just missing a point guard.
Okay.
At this time, I don't really know who is who, like what team. I don't even know. So him and Guy talk. Boom, the connection happened. I started playing with the Celtics. Like, I forgot how it happened. My pops did it. Next thing you know, he like, yo, we going to Atlanta. So we go to Atlanta. That was my first tournament playing with them. It was in Atlanta. They wound up having like their own tournament like at Georgia Tech. Okay. So my first tournament, I played with Brandon Rush and Josh Smith. At the time, Randolph Morris, who was at Kentucky, the big man. Yep. He had a team camp, so he wasn't there. And Dwight Howard has a team camp that they had to attend to with their high school team. Okay. They wasn't there. So at this tournament, I'm only playing with Josh and Brandon Rush. So we wound up winning the tournament. But the team that beat them like a week before, we wound up playing them in that tournament. And with me playing, without the other two bigs we had, we knock them off, the same as that team. So now they like, oh, okay, like, I wound up making the all-tournament team. We won the tournament. And then after that, I just knew, like, with that team, it was really, it's like playing on the All-Star game, honestly.
And you just fit in, right? Just fit in.
Like, we was loaded. Yeah. We was loaded with talent. So it was like those was the big names, but we had other good. We had a kid named Mike Mercer that was tough.
Okay, Mike was the Georgia.
Yeah, went to Georgia.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
the
yeah,
starting point guard. We
yeah.
had young Javaris Crittenton
Okay,
that was on the Lakers. Then we
okay.
had a kid named Dwayne Wade that went to South Carolina. And then we had the big three, if you want to say,
Yeah.
the Randolph Morris, the White
Morris,
Howard, and Josh Smith.
Schmidt.
So
Right, right.
he was just loaded.
Yeah, that's a loaded team right there. Cliff, can we take a moment and shout out your pops though? Shout out your
Yeah.
pops for just having the forward thinking all the time,
Nah,
man.
he's ahead of his time. Like
Yeah,
anybody from you from South Jamaica, Queens, anybody know who my pops is and
yeah,
my older
no
brother.
question.
Like he been doing this for a while. Like
Yeah.
like
Shout out to your pops, man. He's a dope brother. Always been a good guy, man.
yeah.
So ultimately, DePaul University, right? You decide to call that home for the next 4 years.
Right.
Why DePaul?
Why DePaul? Is why DePaul? All right, so it was a lot of reasons why DePaul.
Okay.
First, I knew they was in Conference USA my freshman year,
Right.
but I knew they was making the transition to the
make
Big
that-
East.
Right. Okay.
So I knew I was going to get a lot of games back on the East Coast, playing
Right,
at
okay.
Madison Square Garden, so we
Mhm.
all dream of. Like,
Of course.
so that was one of the reasons. Two, I got my SAT score late.
hmm
So the other schools, it was kind of like a waiting game, and with me getting my score so late, it kind of scared them. Well, they didn't
Okay.
think I was going to qualify.
Okay.
So this is another funny story. I wasn't going to go to DePaul, honestly. I was going to go to Florida State. Like, it was signed as, like,
Oh
that's where I
wow.
was going to go.
Okay. Okay.
I was in Florida. They was on me, like, from the jump, like, on me, like,
And
Leonard
you
Hamilton.
already down there too,
I was
right?
already
Cliff?
in Florida, like,
Yeah. Okay.
so it was just like, that was my school. I was going to go there. But
Mhm.
like I said, I wound up getting my score late. So they kind of got scared, and they wound up taking a point guard from JUCO, I want to say.
Okay.
So it's so funny. This is another story that ties in with Guy. I called Guy one day. I'm in Florida at this time,
Right.
and this is my senior year.
Okay.
So school is winding down. It's like spring.
Mhm.
But Guy was supposed to send me a package because me and Gary Charles wound up still being cool. And he's
Okay.
supposed to be sending me some gear.
Okay.
So when I call him, I'm like, yo, Guy, what's up? What's up? He like, Cliffy? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, we have a tournament. I want you to go. But mind you, I done left Guy and them. I'm playing with that's something I play with the Celtics.
Okay.
So I'm like, a tournament, Guy? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a tournament in Houston. We need a point guard. We don't have a point guard. I'm like, yo, Guy, I don't even know how I could go. I got to ask the people I live with.
Right.
He's like, yo, it's a live period. You got to come. It's the last live period. We need a point guard. We don't have a guard. We've been getting our ass kicked. So I'm like, so I call my pops.
Mhm.
So anything before I do, I always call my pop. I'm like, yo,
Okay.
I just spoke to Gary Charles. He talking about some tournament in Houston. He want me to. It was called the Kingwood Classic. Anybody that travel, they know about. He was like,
I'm down. I'm down here in Houston now, Cliff.
yeah.
I'm
So
familiar.
he was like the Kingwood Classic.
Okay.
They need a point guard. Want me to go? It's a live period. It's the last live period. What you think? He's
Right.
like, it sounds like a go. Won't you ask? Can you go? So I asked the people. They okay me to go. So now when I get down there, I go down there early, like 2 days before everybody come.
Okay.
Because my pops and Vincent Smith, which is Kenny Smith's brother,
Okay.
very good, close. I knew
Okay.
Vincent since I was a kid, so I go down there early to work out with Vince just to tune up and get ready for the tournament. So
Right.
as I get down there, I'm working out now. Guy and them come in town. Sterling picks me up, and at this time I don't know. When he picks me up, he like, yo, this how you know this AAU game is crazy. He like, yo,
Crazy. It's nuts. Yeah.
he like, yo, you know DePaul is on you, right? I'm like, DePaul. At this point, DePaul not even on my list. They never recruited me. Like, I ain't know.
Okay.
Like DePaul. He like, yeah, they gonna be out here. They coming to see you. I'm like, what? He like, yeah. So I said, all right, well, before they speak to me, they need to speak to my pops, because every school that called me, I always make sure they talk to my pops.
So to your pops. Right.
So now I get down there. I'm playing with Guy. I'm having a good tournament. It's me. I'm killing. It's me, Danny Green, Antonio
Okay.
Pena. Like,
Okay.
we got a good
Okay.
team with Sean Clark. Like,
Okay. Oh,
we
some
all
guys.
right,
You got some guys. You got some
yeah,
guys. Yeah.
So I wound up getting busy, blah, blah, blah. the first assistant is there. He was watching a kid that was young. He was out of California. He was tough. I don't know if y'all know the story, but the guy that Russell Westbrook he wears like a rubber band,
Okay.
and it say like Kelsey on it. That was
Mhm.
like his childhood friend. At this time, he's playing with Gary Charles.
He wound up passing away, right?
He wound up passing away. He's
Right,
on
right.
our team. Super athletic kid. He was on our team, but DePaul was there also recruiting him because he was out of Cali. He was like a sophomore.
Okay.
He was going to be really good. So as he did watching him, the kid was athletic. So I'm throwing him lobs from half court. He's catching them. He's getting so I'm looking good. So as I'm playing good, the assistant called Dave Lato. He's the head coach. Like, yo, you need to come out here yourself and watch this kid.
Okay.
So he flies out the next day. He watched me. And after one of the games, he offered me like on the spot, like, yo, we want you. And I'm with my pops. Me and my pops talk about you. At this time, it's May. It's late in the game.
Wow.
So we
okay.
know
So it's getting real close.
It's getting close. It's
Okay.
So me and my pops talk about it, and he like, yo, what you want to do? I'm like, yo, it's May. You already see. Like, this point is like, I give him a verbal like on the spot, like, yeah, I'm gonna come without visiting the school, nothing. My pops do his homework. I'm like, yeah. I give Dave a verbal right there at the tournament.
Okay.
And it's so crazy. As the next day, my pop's leaving. He runs into Mike Davis in the airport, who was at Indiana at the time.
At Indy, okay.
Yeah, so he on my pops like, yo, what's up? I want your son.
Wow.
He like, yo, man, like, he just gave a verbal last night to Dave Lato. He got to be a man of his word. And reason why he was on me because even though Josh Smith wasn't going there, Josh Smith was committed to Indiana.
Okay.
So that whole time I'm traveling with the Celtics, he's seeing me playing.
Watching. Gotcha.
Watching. So that's how he was on me.
Okay.
That's how I wanted to go to DePaul.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, brother. That's an amazing story right there, man.
Right.
So yeah, you make a home at DePaul, right?
Right.
As a freshman, gotta give it to you, brother. You wild out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Play. You don't start. You're not a starter, but you play in 31 games. You really are a contributor to the team. Break Rod Strickland's freshman record for assists.
Right.
You third in the Conference USA assist to turnover ratio as a freshman. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's tough.
A stat a lot of people don't care about, though. They wouldn't say that's crazy. Like,
but that's Cliff. That's tough, especially at your position, right?
Right.
Where does that unselfishness come from in your game, brother? Like, you could put the ball in the hole if you want to. You could be a scorer, but that unselfishness, that trying to get everybody involved is really what you do. Where does that come from?
All right, so that's a great question. So at a young age, people that know me from like Little Cliffy, I used to play on teams where I was the best by far, like best player, right?
Okay.
So I used to do a lot of scoring. I used to score. When I started playing with the Panthers, we wound up having a lot of talent. Like, so I played with a guy named Day Day. Day Day is like the hood. If you from South Jamaica, Queens, at some point you play for Day Day.
Okay.
But on Day Day team, we didn't have a lot of talent, so I used to have to score a lot. Like, even though my elementary school team, I was the best player, so I used to score all the points.
Okay.
But when I started playing with the Panthers, we had my man Cam, we had my man Desmond Frazier, we had Little West.
Okay.
We had the kid named Tyreek Atkins, we had the kid named Corey Simmons. Like, all the kids that was nice growing up, we all played on one team.
Okay.
So for me to fit in when I started playing with them, which they didn't want me to come over there because they knew how good I was. And at that time, I was the kid with all the buzz.
Okay.
I started showing people I could pass. And then
okay.
I just fell in love with it. Like, damn, like I started having to control the game, but controlling the game and we're not even scoring a lot of points, like me setting people up, but I'm still having the same impact of somebody that was getting 20 points. Right. We're getting 15 assists, 6 points, 8 points. You know what I mean? So that's what I just kind of fell in love with it. I would say around like 6th or 7th grade.
Again, watching you just growing up, coming up, watching you from afar and all that stuff. Just a floor general, the quintessential point guard, brother. So,
but how I got on that team, to be honest with you, I played against them in a tournament called Nike Swoosh.
Okay.
Corey, my man's Corey Simmons is a childhood friend. He used to always try to get me to play with him because me and him met playing against each other in elementary school. He went to PS 80. I went to PS 40. So my elementary school team played against like PS 80, 140, PS 55. Like I played against all like local schools.
Okay.
So he used to always try to get me over there. But how I started playing with them, I played against them and I had 30 on them. Like
just killed them.
Like like all the guys that I grew up and got cool with, I met them first by, not to sound cocky, but playing against them at first. So that's how I met like the Wesley Walkers, the Cam. Like they knew me from playing against them first, and then I started playing with them.
Got you. So again, freshman year, you know, you have an amazing year. You know what I'm saying, from a freshman standpoint, from your position standpoint, right? You go through a coaching change though as a sophomore. But then also that year, y'all bring in Mr. Basketball of Michigan, Wilson Chandler.
Right.
Talk about that transition a little bit for me, Cliff, about adjusting to a new coach and getting a guy like that on your team. What was that year like for you?
That year was a terrible. That was after my freshman year. Like me personally, I don't like nothing about DePaul. That's just me. Like.
Okay.
Because I feel like my freshman year, like, my pops and I picked the school for that reason. I knew my freshman year I was going to get some playing time.
Okay.
I was going to be playing with some good talent. But I knew by my sophomore year, I was going to have the ball in my hand.
Okay.
So we picked it like that on purpose. Like, all right, by your sophomore year, you're going to be starting. And if you look at, like, you know how they have this sporting news?
Yeah.
Where they write you up and see.
That's what we came up. That's what we came up on.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you watch the sporting news after my freshman year and you go to DePaul, they say breakout year, Clinkscales. Gonna be the best point guard, one of the best point guards in the country, one of the best point guards in the Big East. They're already saying I'm gonna have a big sophomore year because out of all the freshmen that came in, I was kind of like the one who got a lot of minutes and had impact.
Okay.
So then my coach leaves. Like he goes to Virginia. Like that shit fucked my season up. Like I won't say my career, but just like damn. So now this is just a lot. People know this is crazy. This is a small world, but
talk to me.
The coaches I get, what people don't know is the year that I'm going to DePaul. Dion Merrick, you know, Dion Merrick is my best friend.
Of course.
Dion Merrick is at Richmond.
Right.
So me and Dion in the same class, but remember I went to prep school. So I did a 5th year. He's already at his freshman year at Richmond.
Right. Okay.
So I goes with him to his school to Richmond.
Okay.
He comes up to New York. He like, yo, I gotta go back. I gotta work a camp. Me and my other best friend, my man Al, he's like, yo, won't y'all take a ride with me? Come with me, work this camp when we come back to the town.
Okay.
So I go with him to work the camp. I wind up working the camp. And as we work in the camp, I'm working out with them. So I wind up meeting the coaching staff. I'm working out with them every morning before camp. And then we work the camp. It's so ironic that I meet them. They know me. They tell me, I tell them, what school you going to? They like DePaul. He's like, oh, we from DePaul. Like my family from DePaul. You going to love DePaul.
Okay.
Jerry Wainwright. Such. Tell me why, when my coach leaves, guess what coaching staff I get?
You get that coaching staff
the
that you
same coaching staff my best friend had.
Okay. Wow.
So they come to DePaul, all of them. Boom.
Right.
Everybody, the whole coaching staff.
Wow.
So me being the person I am, like, I just met them. I'm thinking, if anybody gonna be good,
it's gonna be you.
I know I'm gonna be good. Like, you feel me? Like, he done see me all
you had a
summer.
head start already.
Like, you done see me.
Yeah.
You just had my best friend. Like, I'm thinking, I gotta be gravy, right? Like, not saying they just gonna give me the ball, but like, damn, like, and it just wind up being a totally opposite. Like, the coaching, like, not even Jerry Wainwright, he's a good guy, but just like they system.
Okay.
And just like they coming from the A-10, now we transferring to the Big East. They style of play wasn't right for the Big East. We playing slow.
Okay.
And coming from my freshman year where you had to earn minutes, like you had to be a dog to get on the court, like my coach would tell you, like, you want to play, you got to show me in practice. Or he'd be like, you want to play? Well, he got your minutes. Get your minutes from him doing practice. You want like that's how I earned my minutes in DePaul my freshman year. You had your own year. Them coming over, like nobody no more had to earn them. Everybody was just giving stuff. Like
okay.
So that's how it really was. It was like anybody that went to DePaul with me would tell you, like, it wasn't because I couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't because I wasn't handling my business in practice. It wasn't because I wasn't handling my grades in practice.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really politics, honestly. Like, but that was on me. Like, me doing the 5th year, I should have left. Like, knowing what I like.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. When Dave Lato left, did you consider leaving as well?
Listen, this is how crazy people don't even know. This is another crazy. When Dave Lato leave, then they're like my whole team is saying, I'm out of here. I'm the one going to the players. Like, yo, chill. These people we getting, they cool, Before we even know, like, I don't know at the time, but now that people going into our AD, her name is Jeannie. They going to see us. She giving people their papers, like something like, I want to leave. When I go see her, she tells me straight out, like, Cliff, you're not leaving. Like, this is what she tells me.
Okay.
At least give me a chance, because, like I said, out of all the freshmen, the people that asked to leave, they really didn't have an impact on the team.
Okay.
Like, I'm the one, like, I'm looking like the future of the team. So she like, yo, just work with me. First, let me see who I hire first before you. I know Lato, you got a tight, like, me and Lato was tight. Like, I had a great relationship. So she know I'm furious. But she letting people work, but she's telling me, like,
trying to hold on to
be
you.
Easy, like,
okay.
like, I got you. Basically, she telling me, I got you. Like, let me handle this. And then that's how I went. Like, when I went to go talk to her, she wasn't even really trying to hear me. Like, so I want to leave. She's like,
she held on to you. Okay.
Yeah, she like, like, you can't just leave. Like, we ain't letting you go that easy. Just let me go through this hiring process. So, like I said, when I got them and I see who it was, I'm like, they just coached my best friend. I feel like I was just down there the summer before. I'm working out. I'm playing pickup. Like, thinking I'm going to be all right.
So that, you thinking that situation is going to be the best for you now, especially going forward for the next 3 years. Okay.
Next 3 years.
Okay. So, again, y'all come from Conference USA, right? Now, the next 3 years aren't the best in your opinion, but you're still playing, you still competing, you still tough out there. You in the Big East during the time that it's crazy.
It's rough, right? Every night.
Who talk to me, Cliff? Who are some of your toughest covers at that time? Who you battling against? Who you get up for and be like, yo, I can't wait to bust his ass. Who you playing against is like, all right, I'm ready.
Honestly, I always have a hard time with that question, like, who my toughest cover. Not to sound cocky, like, really nobody, because at that time, like, my minutes was so spotty, and like, it got to the point where at DePaul, my sophomore year, it was rocky. So like, I wasn't even thinking about like games. Like, I used to make practice my games. Like, these niggas is bugging. Like, every day, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna wild on my teammates. Like, that's how I used to took it, man. My junior year, my senior year got better. They just wound up. I was a senior. They wound up handing me the keys a little bit. At that time, like, but like, the obvious you get up for. Marquette is always a big game for DePaul. Like, Marquette is like our rivalry. Like, so anytime we play Marquette, and then you remember that time in the Big East, like my sophomore year, you didn't play everybody. They kind of did a thing where
it was like divisions.
You only played somebody.
Got you.
Like, you didn't even play everybody my sophomore year like that. So at the time, like when UConn was lit at the highest, we didn't even play them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, like, like the Big East was a dog, you know how it is, but it was always fun playing against guys, playing against guys from the town when you match up against them and you go. But I wish I could have like did a little bit more, had a little more, but you know how that go.
Yeah, of course, Cliff. So, a 4-year player at DePaul, right? As a kid, we all want to go to the league. But what's your personal goals as you approaching your senior year, getting ready to graduate? What's your goals in terms of basketball going forward?
All right, so at that going forward, I'm saying to myself, I just want this shit to be over as fast as possible. Like, not school, because I'm having a good time with my teammates, like Wilson Chin, like, they're my brothers to this day. Like, my team was cool. Like I wish they, like, off the court, we was good. This was just the on the court stuff. At this point, I'm saying to myself, like, all right, because I was at one point where I was about to transfer. Like, I was, like, a sign in a way, like, but then I just pulled back on it. Like, no way, I'm just going to rock out. And just, I was going to leave. But I'm saying to myself, at this point, might as well get my degree at this point.
Okay.
Because, you know, a lot of us do 4 years and be so frustrated with the school, we don't wind up getting the paper. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so I'm at this point, I kind of lock in, like, yo, if I'm going to get something out this deal, let me just get this degree. Like, fuck it. Like, basketball didn't work how I wanted, but, you know, let me get this just in case. So I get my degree. But now I'm saying to myself, once I leave DePaul, I wanna show people that I could play and it wasn't me. Because, you know, you could get tied up in a situation where it's like, well, he ain't played there because he probably wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I'm saying to myself, let me keep working. Let me keep working out. Let me get my paper. But once I leave here, I want to show people that I can hoop. So that was my whole mindset. Like,
you can still
once
hoop.
I get out this situation, like, I'm going to show people I can play. And the NBA is the furthest from my mind at that point.
Got
like,
you.
Because,
Okay.
you know, like, anybody that goes to Division I, they'll tell you it's highs and lows. Like, it's so crazy and rocky that you have some days when you get to your dorm room and you look at yourself like, do I still really want to play this basketball shit? You start thinking that shit, like, because, you know, the politics and
that's real. Now that's real.
Rough
that's real,
practice.
bro.
Like, not even, like, playing, like, just the tough practice. Like, when you sign that dotted line, like, it's really a job. Like, people understand. You wake up at 6 a.m., do conditioning. After conditioning, you got weights. After you got weights, you got class. After you got
about
class,
it,
you got study table.
Yeah.
After you got study table, you might have open gym. Or anywhere between it, depending what season, you might have individuals. And this is every day, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You can't miss nothing. Like,
it's a certain level of commitment, yo. It's a
you got to
certain
be
level
committed.
of commitment.
Like, and they would have you in your dorm room sometimes stressing, like, and don't be not like getting no playing time or going through with the coach. Is really like, but I mean, only the best thing about college is, honestly, everything is free. Like, that was like, you living rent free.
Yeah.
No bills. Gear free. That's the best part. And you traveling.
Yeah.
But everything else is business. Like, sick, like I said, you in that track, you in that weight room.
Working.
After weights, if you ain't got class, you got individuals.
Right.
If you got class, you go to class. Come from class, you got study table. And then you got to, you know what I mean, try to have some experience college yourself if that's what you want to do. So at that point, it's business.
Graduate from DePaul, get your degree in communications, right?
In communications, yeah.
Okay. You get the opportunity now, though, to play in the D League. This is before, you know, it's the G League, what it is now.
Right.
It's a very different league at the time that you're playing in it, right?
Right.
What's your approach going into that opportunity playing in the G League? Are you excited? Are you like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just continue hooping? You know, how are you approaching that time in your career?
I'm excited, but to be honest, like, to give you the real, at this point, I really can't get an agent. I can't go overseas.
Okay.
Because you know what they go off? They go off of stats.
Right.
My stats ain't looking like nothing. You ain't really, so it's like, yo, this kid, nobody ain't really trying to help you. So my pops, being who he is, he like, yo, the G League, like, let's try the NBA D League.
Okay. So
he do his research. He wind up finding like the tryout list. What city they gonna be in? My pops and Jerry Powers is real tight. They close.
Okay.
So he wound up finding the cities. Jerry Powell wound up giving him his call. He like, yo, my pops wound up hustling the money up for the tryouts, the hotel, the travel fee. We jump in the car. We drive from New York City to Erie, Pennsylvania.
I got you, brother.
You can hear me?
I got you.
You
good.
got me?
Yeah, I got you good.
All right, so we good. So
So
my
you
pops
go from New York City to Pennsylvania.
to Erie, Pennsylvania on a drive, just me and him, Dolo. We pack our stuff, we go out there. But at this point, we don't know that it's going to be tryouts in different cities.
Okay.
He just seen, I think he wound up seeing the first one. We go out there. To be honest, the competition was weak. But these guys knew basketball, and they see like, oh, this kid could play. So one of the guys that was on the coaching staff, he wound up being on that Indiana staff I told you about with Mike Davis. So he see me on the circuit. So he's like, I know this kid. He played AAU with the Atlanta Celtics. So I do good in that tryout. They wind up inviting me to training camp. So after that, they have the rest of the cities they went to. So they wind up doing a session in Philadelphia, a session in Ohio, and a session in Jersey. But at the time, I didn't know they was going to do all these sessions, because if that was the case, we wouldn't have took that. We just went to Jersey.
You find the closest one or where the better run is. Right.
But it wound up being a good situation, because the one I went to, it wasn't great talent, but I wound up being like standing out.
Okay.
So now I get invited to training camp. So me and my pops talking. So at this point, it's like I'm on some. I gotta take mine, because everybody in here is loaded with talent. I ain't gonna say a lot. The guards is heavy.
Okay.
We got my man Maurice Rice, who's a Philly GOAT. He was there. Reese Rice, he like one of the all-time leading scorers in Philadelphia.
Okay.
We had a kid named Oliver Lafayette, who was nice at Houston. We got Jackie Manuel, who was at North Carolina.
Oh, that went to North Carolina. Okay, I remember Jackie.
We got
Manuel.
another guard that was there named Vernon Hamilton. He was like the starting guard at Clemson.
Okay.
So all these guys went to all these other camps. One of them was on the Cavs Summer League team, and at that time, the Cavs was our affiliate. So he got sent to camp. Like, they told him not to go overseas.
Damn, so you competing against some guys, bro.
I'm competing against all of them, but my pops is a guru. So my pops told me about the guy that basically they told not to go overseas. Like, he supposed to be the starting point guard for the Erie Pain. So my pops let me know, like, yo, this is the guy that you got to be on him. Like,
okay,
anytime you match up. So that's what I was on. Like,
okay,
I'm on there on dog time. Like, yo, listen.
Yeah.
And they mind, out of all the sites, I went to the weaker one. So they probably thinking, like, I ain't going to make it. But I already knew what I came there. I came there for a job. So I was on it. Like, and I wound up making the team. So I wound up taking the spot, to be honest. Like, I took it to the point where I wound up controlling the camp. Every time we did a drill, I was on the court. Wow. Anytime we played games, my team won.
Yeah,
I was running the show.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where they asked Jackie Manuel and Eric Daniels. They was kind of like the vets, because they've been in the NBA. They've been around the block.
Right. Okay.
So they was already kind of like chosen the captains of the team. So it got to a point where our coaches asked them, like, yo, what point guard that y'all love playing with? Me and a couple other guys. And everybody chose me. Like, nah, that Cliff kid, like, he a great leader. He runs the team.
That don't surprise me, Cliff. That don't surprise me at all.
You know, we have the meetings.
Yeah.
When I get in the meeting with them, they kind of scared me at first playing. Like, yo, you did good, but yo, you ain't make it. Like, that's what they saying. Like, I'm like, all right, I appreciate it. They're like, come on, man, you know you make it. You won every drill, everything you played, your team won. Like, everybody here love you. You made the cut. I'm like, oh, cool, my pops.
That's dope.
It was lit.
That's dope. That's a dope. Yo, that had to be a dope experience, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't mean to take you from a dope experience to a tough experience, but you a real one. You told me, you know what I mean, you would keep it real on this platform. You would keep it real on this platform with me. So, and I think it would be important for people to kind of hear this story, especially players that are still aspiring to play overseas and, you know, just professionally. Now, once you transition from playing in the D League, you get an opportunity to play in the ABL, the American Basketball League, for the Panama City Breeze.
No, I had some hardships before that, though. I played like we skip we gonna give you the real
Okay,
so
talk to me.
I make that team.
I'm
playing all right, playing well. not probably playing great, but I'm playing well. I wound up putting up some good numbers that year.
Okay.
So now, Quincy will probably laugh at this. Quincy Doobie is coming like at that time he would sack, so he coming back and forth.
Okay.
So I wound up playing. I want to say I think at that year it was like 50-game season. I think I wound up playing like 42 games or 44 games. We about to get ready for the playoffs.
Okay.
That team cuts me like it's like 6 games left in the regular season with Erie. I wound up playing on the road. I want to say in like Albuquerque. I had a bad game, probably my worst game. But at that point, I think Quincy wound up getting released from the Kings.
Okay.
So now, I think they looking to sign him for the remainder of our year in the playoffs. So they wound up letting me go, and I felt like, damn, they're gonna let me go at this point.
Wow.
So they let me go. We about to get ready for the playoffs. I'm like, damn, I go back to the crib. I get cut. So now I'm at the crib. I'm chilling. I'm like, damn. But the season was almost over. And when you get cut in the NBA and the G League, you go in the players pool.
Like a waivers kind of thing?
Free agent pool. Like basically like a waiver pool. Yeah. So any team. So I go home. I was only home for probably like 2 days. So I'm actually walking to ISA. Okay. I had to go watch some games because it's springtime at this time, you know. Yeah. High school tournament started up. I'm always in ISA when ISA So I'm walking in and I get a call. So they like a team named Rio picked me up. Rio Grande. I wound up playing against Rio. Not me during the regular season. I had a solid game against them. And they remember me. So they picked me up. But at this point, I don't want to go because I know the season is almost over. It's 2 weeks left. They was on the other side, like the West, and they ain't making the playoffs. So they probably got 6 games left. It's literally 2 weeks. I'm like, so I tell my pops, like, yo, I just got a call. They saying this team picked me up. Like, what you think I should do? Like, yo, you got to go. What you mean? Like, they called you, so I wound up going. But it's just looking funny for you sometimes. So
yo, but how was Vegas though?
It wasn't even Vegas. It was Rio Grande. It's like in Texas, McAllen, Texas.
Oh, you was in Texas. Look at me sounding crazy. Okay, so you was in Texas. Okay,
right. So I wound up going to this team. Smush was on that team at some point, but he wound up leaving, going overseas. So I go to that team, and that wound up being another blessing in disguise because when I get to that team, they got a guard that was getting called up from the Clippers. He was nice. Anybody that knows like a basketball junkie, his name was Jared Joy. Okay. He was a point guard at Maris. Okay. But he was on the Clippers back and forth, like a couple of NBA teams. But that team played fast. Like, he was up
and down. Okay.
His style was like running gun. He would come in the locker room like, I want to score 140 today. Like, I'm like, what? Like, so when I get there, I'm like, what? So I wound up playing with that team. And like probably like the last 6 games, the last 6 to 8 games, and like 4 of the games I had double-doubles. But I'm coming off the bench. I'm getting like 12 and 12, 11 and 11. But we just playing up and down. It was fun. That coach wound up loving me. I have a talk with him, ended the meeting, like, yo, we bring you back. You're going to be our starter because Jared ain't coming back. And guess what happened to that coach? He gets fired.
He gets let go. Damn. So as soon as you get comfortable, you get a report. Damn. Okay.
And Robert Pack was my assistant coach.
Oh, Robert Pack,
He was in love with me. So I'm working with Robert Pack before every game. You know, pregame, you work out. Yeah. After I'm getting my work in with him, like, I'm going at it. He likes me a lot. So I'm like, yo, I'm coming back to the G League. And my mama, I'm coming back. Like, they going to start me. This team play fast. And we're going to be lit. But he wanted to get fired in the summertime.
Damn.
So
it just changes the direction of how.
Change direction.
Yeah.
Fact.
But I read a wild story, Cliff, where you down playing for Panama City and they're really jerking y'all, man. Like, no, the living conditions is crazy. They not paying y'all on time. They not paying y'all at all.
Oh my God.
What kind of adversity was that, at that, part of your career playing for them?
That whole situation. So after the G League stint, I'm home, nothing. I go back. So I got cut 2 times in G. I got cut with Erie. So now when I go back, because, they got my rights. Okay. When I go back to that team, They got a whole new coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I runs into that again. A whole new coaching staff from some dude from overseas come. And he's in the NBA now. He was on he was the assistant coach with the Raptors. His name was Finch, a guy named Finch. Good coach. Did a great job in the NBA.
Chris Finch.
Chris Finch, I think that's his name. Yeah.
I got you.
He wound up winning the NBA G League 2 years in a row with that team, that same team.
Yeah.
I wound up going back for him, his training camp. He wound up getting all the guys he liked. Like, he didn't even care about who was on the team. Like, I'm playing in the camp.
Wait a minute. He the coach of the Timberwolves right now. I think he the head coach. He the head coach.
That guy. Him.
Yeah.
Fact. Him.
Okay.
He cuts me. Boom. So I'm in the camp. He cuts me. I really didn't have I ain't have a shot. I could tell, like, I'm in camp. He ain't really paying me no mind. Like, I could tell. So I wound up telling one of my big men that I played with at the end of the year, who me and him got mad cool. A dude named Kurt Luby.
Okay.
Me and him had a good connection. Like, nah, bro, you gonna be good. Like, nah, once you was here last year, you can't do that. He cuts me. Boom. I go back to the crib now. Here I'm again waiting. But look what happened. The coach that cuts me in Erie, he calls me back to Erie. So what I do is when I got cut from Erie, I never lost contact with him. Me and him stay in contact through email, blah, blah, blah. At that time, Erie's struggling. They ain't doing too well. So he's reaching out to me like, yo, I hope you staying in shape.
Right.
They called me back, so I wound up going back to Erie. That's how that went. So that's why I wound up playing like 2 years with Erie. Because I went back. So now after that, that's over. I hurt my knee. My first time I had surgery on my knee, my meniscus. Just playing around like I ain't even know. I'm playing in the gym at my local gym. ISA come down, hurt my knee. Like nobody clipped me. I just landed funny. Yeah. So now I'm at the crib. I'm rehabbing on my own, not real rehab. I'm just resting, like, cause I'm asking everybody, like, what's a meniscus like? I don't go to rehab physically.
You in the park doing pull-ups, Cliff.
Yeah,
you're not even doing regular rehab, bro.
I'm not doing regular rehab.
Fact. Yeah.
They just told me, like, yo, stay off of it from 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
So that's what I do. Like, I stay off of it from 4 to 6 months. But I come right back to playing. So at this time, like, I got no film. I got nowhere to go. I hear about this league. So I wound up going to a tryout. It was like a tryout in Orlando. We ante up some money. Me, my man Marv Roberts, I had another kid named Terry. We wound up going to a tryout. Wound up all staying in the hotel together, crashing the hotel. I guess make a long story short, they have a draft. I get drafted, whatever. Okay. Me and Marv get drafted to the same team.
Okay, so Marv is on the same team.
Yeah, Marv is on this team. Marv is like, they have a draft. Marv is like our #1 draft pick. Okay. Like, facts. Marv was like top 5 picks. Like he's like the LeBron James for our team, if you want to say like. Yeah. He's like the star of our team. So he get drafted, boom. So, like, I don't know no better. Like, it's just like, all right, what I'm saying to myself is, I'm going to show people I'm healthy. Let me get some film. Okay. Like everywhere else you going, let me try to get up out of here. Right. That's my goal. Like, yeah, it's just a stepping stone to get back. A stepping stone to get back in the groove. Yeah, get back in the groove. Right. So we go there. Training camp is fun. We got some hitters in there though. There's some guys in there like facts, like a kid named Calvin Cage, who we wound up being mad tight. He from DC. Okay. Tough. He at the camp. Marv at the camp. Lionel Jones at the camp. Like, we loaded.
Lionel is there. Okay.
Lionel is there. My man Terry there. We had a kid named Dario, who's from Florida. Like, camp had some good guard play. Kid named Johnny, who wound up playing at Tulane. So camp is really competitive. Like, right. People going at it. It's lit. So we wind up, they making cuts. We make the team, whatever. So the season come around. Okay. We get the first check. But, I think it started like halfway through the month. So, it got prorated. It got prorated. Okay. It got prorated. So, boom. So the year, games going on. That second check post, we get no bread. Like, so I'm like, but at this point, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a basketball junkie, nigga. I'm trying to hoop. You just trying to play? Like, I'm trying to hoop. Marv ain't jacking it, yo. Yeah. I ain't getting paid. I ain't playing. Like, these kids is wild. Like, that's what he on. That's what Marvel. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
So we have a road trip. You know, it's a low budget league like CBA. So
Right,
we
okay.
taking a van, like we going all around. You playing up against, you driving in Florida. So it was like 4 other teams in Florida,
Okay.
and you drive to the game.
Yeah.
So we got a game and shit. We leave. We about to leave. To my coach, like, where Marv at? So I'm like, yo, I don't say he ain't coming at first. I'm like, I don't know. He be here any minute. Like,
Yo.
Marv ain't going to the game, basically. So
Yeah,
we go.
yeah.
So we try to Marv wound up leaving, going to the crib. What he wound up doing, it was the right move at the time because we ain't get paid no more.
Right.
Me, I wound up staying. I'm saying to myself, when I'm going back to New York, I ain't doing shit anyway. Like,
Right. You
I'm
just
gonna stay
want
here.
to hoop at this
I
point.
want to hoop at this point.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
a crib. I got a nice room, rent free. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to rock till we can't rock no more. But it
Right,
got to
right.
the point where it was like, everywhere I went, I wound up being like the leader of the team. So it got to the point where it's like, I called the meeting. I'm like, yo, listen, we ain't playing no more. I deaded everything. Like me, I called it like, yo, we ain't going to no more games. It's over. Like,
Yeah.
like what you mean? No more season. We ain't paying us. It's over.
Right.
So I called my coach. My coach like, Cliff, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. Like, if that's what y'all want to do, he ain't getting paid either.
Because
So
he ain't
like,
getting no paper either.
nobody
So,
getting paid.
okay.
So I'm like, he like, Cliff, whatever you want to do, we with us. I'm like, yeah, ain't no more games. So that's how that went.
So that's
but
how that's
me,
it. That
how me being like at the crib thinking about stuff, I wound up going on Twitter. So I started writing about it. Like, yo, listen, this league ain't paying. I started adding everybody you could add. Like,
okay.
anybody.
Yeah.
First Take, ESPN.
Yeah, everybody.
Magic
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yo, we ain't getting paid. They violate.
Mhm.
And wound up, one of the owners of the league wound up getting a whole like yo, like this kid is attacking my name on Twitter. Somebody that knew me knew him.
Okay.
So they must have vouched for me. It was a dude that went to DePaul. Like,
Okay.
nah, Cliff ain't that type of kid. He's a great kid. So something ain't going wrong. Maybe it's just
something's wrong. Yeah.
y'all need to have a conversation. So guy that owned the league wound up calling me, reaching out to me, selling it. We wound up having a talk.
Okay.
And he wound up like we still did not play no more. They wind up finishing the league. I guess 2 teams wound up saying like, yo, but they living situation was way better than others. Like, they owner had bread.
Yeah.
The owner was taking care of them. So they wound up having like a fake championship, and we wound up going home. But that owner wound up sending me some bread, like when I got to the crib. And what I did with the guys that stuck it out, I wound up like Western Union and all of them they bread. Like,
wow.
I could have kept the bread for myself because in the house,
but
I was the highest like paid out of all of them. They
yeah,
but
you were honorable brother, so you made
so I'm
sure.
like, yo, he sending me some bread. I'm in Western Union bread. So when he sent me, I split it with everybody. And I just gave them.
That's dope. That's Cliff. That's dope, brother. That's dope.
So
2014. Now you start transitioning into playing for the Halifax Hurricanes, right?
Yeah, which was the Rain Man at the time.
Which was the Rain Man at the time, right? I think your career takes a turn, right? It just starts going up and up and up from there with the success that you had there. Become an all-star, win a championship, all that kind of stuff. What role did that opportunity play in the success of that part of your career?
That was big, man. That was everything. That was kind of like, that brought me back to life. Like, but that, I got to give credit and respect to guys that was there before me, because there was a lot of guys that I ain't going to say like I started. Strick, God bless the dead, he was the guy who started the New York wave there.
Okay.
Bringing in New York talent. And there was guards that was there before me that had success.
Okay.
Like Tyleek Brown made it to the championship.
Oh, Tyleek was there. Okay.
He was there. Too Hard to Guard was there for some games. He put some work in. Gary Irvin put in a lot of work there too. He was an all-star.
Okay.
Malcolm Grant was there. It's funny how New York lies in with that.
That's
Malcolm
a lot.
Grant
You just named a lot of great
and all
New
these
York
guys
point guards.
I'm naming, they all play for Halifax. So,
okay.
But guys like Tyleek Brown started. I want to say started it. Then Too Hard to Guard. Gary Irvin, and these guys that was there before me that put some work in. But how I got there was Strick, God bless his soul, Strick and Ra, who I played with in the summertime, whose family,
Yeah.
Strick and Ra had a great relationship.
Okay.
Strick was on used to play for that team also, but he wound up going over to general management.
Okay.
Like they allowing him to bring talent to Halifax.
Mm-hmm.
So him and Ra were used to be on the phone every morning. Strick would call Ra in the morning. They talk for hours. But at the time, Strick would call Ra and ask him like, "Yo, which players is home?" Or he'll tell him what he's looking for.
Okay.
Strick would be like, "Yo, I'm looking for a big guard. Who's here that's home?" It's wintertime. And Ra, Ra all around the city. Winter
Everywhere.
League tournaments, he everywhere. He know everybody. So he'll be like, he'll tell him what guys are home. And it's funny how this all works out, because how all New York is in this story I'm about to tell you. So the owner, so with Ra and Strick having this relationship, Ra gained a relationship with Andre Livingston, who was the owner of the team.
Okay.
So him and Robert became good friends, and he'll call Ra, asking Ra for players, and Ra will try to help him out.
Mm-hmm.
He calls Ra one day, like, "Yo, I need a point guard." At the time, I'm with Ra in the car when he gets the call.
Okay.
Malcolm Grant was on that team. Malcolm Grant wound up taking the job in Sweden, so he left the team.
Okay.
The guy that they was taking was Kenny Satterfield.
Oh, they was taking Sat. Okay.
Kenny Sat was about to be Malcolm Grant replacement, but Kenny Sat wound up missing his flight 2 times.
Wow.
So now they like, "Yo, we need a point guard." They tell Ra. I'm with Ra sitting in the car. Ra like, "Yo, I got a great point guard for you. You're looking for somebody to run your show, lead your team, be a leader, make everybody better. He gonna push everybody in practice. I got the perfect guy for you. You just let him come out there, you're gonna fall in love with him. Ain't no doubt in my mind you're gonna fall in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a scoring guard, he not that. He can score, but he's a guy that's gonna run your team. He's a winner. He know how to win. He gonna make everybody's job easy."
Definitely.
So Ra asked him like, "When do you need him there?" And Dre was like, "I need him here yesterday, like soon
right
as
now.
possible, right now." So that's how that went. It wound up being a snowstorm, so I had to wait a couple of days.
Okay.
And it so happened me and Brian Addison, the guy named B Gunner, he signed B Gunner too. So we wound up going finishing the year off with them. They only had like 7 games left in the playoffs. That team was talented, but that team, me and B Gunner kind of brought that New York funk and
that energy, that vibe.
that energy
I got
that
you.
they needed. Like,
I got you.
They was ready to pack it in, be honestly. Like, the season over, they had the talent, but they just didn't have that. So we kind of got there and kind of changed the culture. Like, I could say I'm like, I'm one of the guys that helped change the culture, like having a winning mentality. Like, and that's how that happened. I finished the year out with them. We had the legendary Craig Hodges was our coach.
Craig was your coach.
People
I saw
don't
that.
know this.
Yeah.
Craig Hodges was our coach.
Yeah.
We wound up upsetting the team in the first round. The players, the team we beat in the first round, they was predicted to win it all.
Okay.
So when we about to get ready to play these guys, I ain't gonna say no names, but someone in the front office before the playoffs start, before we play game 1, they calling us and asking us where we want to fly back to. So I'm like, they called me like, "What? We even play a game yet?" Basically saying we about to get swept. Like, let me get y'all tickets now.
Okay, I got what you're saying. Okay.
So we have a team meeting. I tell Craig Hodges like, "Yo, I don't know what's going on here, but they called us earlier in the day, like trying to book our flights."
Yeah, like it's
what?
like it's over. Yeah.
Like it's over. I'm like, and he was like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious." They asked me why I want to fly JFK or LaGuardia. We wound up beating that team, making it in the semis. We wound up losing in the semifinals in 6, but I had a good year. I finished the year averaging a double-double.
That's dope.
Made the All-Star game.
That's dope.
After there, it was just up from there for me.
It was just up from there, man. That's amazing. That's amazing, Cliff. You was you mentioned Ra, and
right.
I would be remiss not to ask you about your time with Sean Bell and playing for
Right.
that team. You know, I know there's a lot of guys on here right now that's locked in, rocking with
Right.
us right now, that play for them. Can you talk about, you know, your experience with them? You know, you a leader. You know, you're an extension of Ra on the court. How has that
Right.
experience been, you know, playing for Sean Bell, you know, for all these years, you know, being one of the best street ball, you know, teams in the city, if not the best? You know what I'm saying? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, Ra, like people, I knew Ra since I was a kid.
Okay.
Like Ra would tell people like how he have all these relations with people. Like at some point, if you was nice, you come through ISA. But me and Ra's from South Jamaica, Queens, so he knew me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So Ra, on hollow grounds when we at the Rucker,
Yeah.
we playing with Ra. Ra took us to the Rucker.
Okay.
He took all the young kids that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, me, Cam, my man Wesley Walker.
Okay.
Like, we had a team in Rucker at 11, 12 years. My man Terry McKenzie from the buildings. Like, we was playing with Ra on that film.
Okay.
So I knew Ra since I was a kid, but playing with Ra is great. Like, it's like if you could play for Ra, you could play for anybody.
Got you.
Like, he just like me. He hate losing. He want to win,
Mm-hmm.
but he puts the best talent around you.
Got you.
And
Yeah.
what I like playing with Ra is every year I've been playing with Ra a couple of years, he would bring in another guard.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that would motivate me because when he bring in another guard, it will only push me. I know, like, all right, he bringing another guard. Nothing personal, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to show my worth on this team. Like,
Got you.
I don't care who you bring in. I'm going to show you, like Cliff is going to be needed on this team.
Yeah.
Just competitively, like me being a competitor.
And that's probably done strategically by him to keep the competitive, you know,
Probably so.
to a certain level.
But he just he like a lot of talent. And
Right.
reason why that's big, because having all that talent around you,
Mm-hmm.
like, people don't like to say it, but going in these tournaments, when Ra have a fully loaded roster, we probably have the best talent. So
I mean, I have to agree. Yeah.
We should win. Like,
Yeah.
But what he does a great job at is putting these rosters together and getting all these guys to push their ego to the side and play for championships. That's what it's about.
That's dope.
Know what I mean? So when I got to Ra, my situation, the dot situation, was different from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to Ra came into street ball winning already.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he came in as a winner,
Mm-hmm.
winning tournaments. But when I got there, we was the young guys that we had to earn our stripes.
Got you.
Me and Dot.
Okay.
So before we get the respect from Rob, we had to get the respect from our peers.
From the peers.
DJ
Yeah.
the Beast,
Yeah.
who's kind of the vet on the team,
Mm-hmm.
guys that been around, like, they would let Rod know, like, yo, all right, he's ready. Like,
Okay.
yo, he could come to the big boy league. Like,
Okay.
Rod used to have tournaments, like starter tournaments to see. Like, we used to play in Gun Hill
Mm-hmm.
and Kingston.
Just to see if y'all ready for where y'all.
Right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
once you play in these tournaments and he see you ready, that would be like your startup.
Got you.
But we had to get the respect from the guys that were a little bit older than us, like the fifth Amber Alerts. My fault. You can hear
All good, bro. All good.
me?
I still got you, Clip.
So we had to earn the respect, like me and Dot, like from our peers, from the older guys that been around. So
Okay.
that's how that started. And then he had guards before me, like Daryl Showtime Hill was the guard before
course.
me.
Uh-huh.
Daryl kind of like stopped playing street ball.
Okay.
And then that's when I came in and earned my stripes from the older guys, and I've been rocking ever since. When I'm like,
Yeah, rest is history. Y'all continuing to run the table in New York City, man. Every summer, Sean Bell is just kicking everybody ass. Like,
man, yeah. Like, for us, like, what matters for us is like if we don't win championships, multiple championships, like, to us, it's a bad summer for us. So
I can dig it.
So at this point in time, like, we about winning championships and winning the money tournaments.
Got you.
So that's what it's about.
Got you. Now, aside from playing with Sean Bell and stuff like that, you are currently one of the best, if not the best, youth trainers in New York City, right?
I wouldn't say that. I don't even look at it like, I wouldn't even say I'm a trainer. I'm like, honestly, like, I'm really just having fun. I don't want to even say like
Talk
Like,
to me
yo,
about
I'm the
that, man.
you. I don't want to, like, because there's guys out here that's really training and take it serious. So I don't even want to put myself in that category. Like, but it just like, I feel like I'm just sharing my knowledge and my wealth with these kids, and like
Okay.
anybody that's asking for some help, and it's
You
because of
giving back.
Dion. I mean,
You
yeah,
giving
like
back. You giving back, Cliff. Like,
this is what I love to do.
You
Like,
know
like
what you
basketball
doing.
is in me.
Yeah, what you doing is major. It's major, man. What's inside of you that wants to give back so much? You know, everybody doesn't always want to say, I was good at basketball, I was good at whatever. I'm gonna go back, reach behind, and start giving it to the people that's coming behind me.
But
What motivates you to do that?
people that know me, like I do stuff here and there. Like I'm a generous person. Like, but
Okay.
how I really like the pandemic. Dion is my best friend. Dion been doing this. He had his brand Real Skills. See, I got the shirt on.
Yes, sir.
He been doing this for 10 years now.
Okay.
But I always will help him out, like in the background. He needs something from me. Like I'm always a phone call, a text away. Like,
Right.
but this winter, I was home. I mean, I wasn't going no. I was home, wasn't playing no ball. Canada was closed. It was over.
Okay.
So he asked me, like, well, last winter, whatever you want to say, like, yo, I need you, bro. I need you to help me out, blah, blah, blah. Train the kids, come with me in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, bro, I got you. Like,
Okay.
yeah, that ain't nothing. Like, he know that, like, so I got in the gym with him. We wind up, at this point, New York City is kind of in a frenzy. Like, nobody can find no gyms. Like,
Right. Everybody's trying to find somewhere to play. Yeah.
It's looking bad. And really, before that, what made me think about training, honestly, before Dion,
Okay.
when the pandemic hit and the season was over, when the season was over for us in Canada,
right,
Wilson Chandler reached out to me.
Okay.
So at this point, the season is over. We know we ain't playing no more. It's over. I'm in Canada still. So our coach wound up flying everybody back to wherever they live.
Okay.
I got on the phone. I called my owners. I know New York City is bad right now. Like, y'all got curfews being shut down. Ain't nothing open.
Right.
It's looking nasty. Like,
yeah.
I'm telling them, I'm not going back to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying here as long as I can, like, till we figure out, like, well, I can't go back there. Ain't nothing going on there. I'd rather stay here where it's more safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at that point, where I was at, it was really no cases at all. Like, it was coming around, but there was no cases in it. So I'm like,
okay.
But Wilson Chandler reached out to me. I guess they hearing the buzz about the NBA baby starting back up. Okay. He hits me like, yo, bro, I want to work out, want to get in the lab. He's on the Brooklyn Nets at this time.
Right.
So me being the person I am, I'm thinking he in New York and he needs a gym.
Okay.
So the first person that comes to my mind is my brothers that train.
Right.
I'm about to get on the phone to call Dion or Cam. Like, yo, Wilson needs somebody to train him. He needs a gym. I'm about to try to plug them.
Okay.
He like, nah, I'm at the crib. I'm like, you at the crib? He like, yeah, man. I'm looking for somebody to train me. That's why I'm hitting you. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So I'm like,
okay.
He like, yeah, I want you to train me. So I let him know my situation. Like, yo, bro, I'm in Canada right now. Mm-hmm. It's looking crazy back in the crib. But if I leave Canada, ain't no coming back. Like, cause the border's gonna be closed.
Yeah,
my apartment gonna be given. I'm gonna have
to
to give up my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I get, like whatever we doing, I just need to know. So I laid down like this, that, and that. He like, nah, bro, you good. You gonna live with me. I'm gonna take care of you. And it was lit. I went from Canada. I went to Michigan.
That's dope.
He wound up finding a gym. I'm training him for like a month.
Okay.
He get the call. Like most of his team is in Cali. Everybody. The Brooklyn Nets, they in Cali. Kyrie, KD.
Okay.
They hit him to come out there. So he like, yo, bro, I'm about to go to Cali. So I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking he about to fly me back to the crib. He like, nah, you coming with me. Like,
yeah.
When our assistants is out there, they want me to go out there and train with the coaches. But I told them I already had somebody that was training me. So I'm bringing you with me.
That's right.
So when I get out there to Cali, I'm out there with them. They training at the sports academy that used to be the Kobe Academy, the Mamba Academy, but they changed the name, the Sports Academy, after he passed away. So I go with him. The first couple of days, I'm doing a workout with the one of the assistants for the Brooklyn Nets. But they really ain't really got me doing nothing. I'm just there.
You just there, okay.
So I'm just there. I'm helping. I mean, rebound. But as he working out for the guy, for the assistant coach of the Brooklyn Nets, the same drills I was doing with him, they doing with him. But they don't know this.
Okay.
Like, and I ain't got none of this stuff written down. I don't go off of, I don't have notes or what I'm going to do with a player. I just know Wilson game.
Okay.
So I know where to put him.
What needs to be worked on.
Right.
That's,
so
okay.
That's what opened my eyes. Like, damn, that's crazy. I was just doing that. So he must have told him, like, yo, he know what he's doing. So by like day 2 or 3, now we start splitting the workout. Like, he'll start the workout, I will finish the workout. So me and the assistant coach get cool.
Okay.
Once he see I knew the game, now he letting me do the workout. Like, oh, this kid, you know what he doing. Like, so they figured it out. So I stayed there for a month. They wind up bringing the NBA back. They wind up flying back to New York.
Okay.
And that was that. And then now for the summer, I'm home. Winter coming around. My brother asked me to get on with him. I'm like, yeah, that ain't no problem. We get in the gym, we lock in. So, and then he was telling me what he had planned, like starting this AAU.
Okay.
I want you to be one of the coaches. I bring in my guy, Mike Poole. Me and Mike Poole is tight.
Shout out Mike Poole. Yeah.
So that's how we did that. So
yo, that's dope.
And I was rocking like that.
That's so dope for you, brother. I like that you know what I'm saying, organic. You know what I'm saying? Organic.
Right.
You ain't going out here reaching and I gotta get on, put me on.
Right.
Literally organic, and it's just happening.
And I'm doing it with my brothers, like people I love, like not people like Dion is my brother, like
that's your brother, yes,
child, like they walk in my crib,
yes.
You know what I'm saying, like,
yeah, that's
and then
fine.
Mike Poole, me and him became brothers. He was with me. He was roommate for 3 years. Like his mom is my mom. Like,
that's
so
love.
doing it with them is like,
it don't get no better than that.
Feel good. It get no better than that, right?
Yeah. That's love, man. Well, listen, Cliff. We coming up on the home stretch. I got some quick hitters for you. I got some fun stuff. Yeah, this has been amazing. You know, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah. It was fun.
This is great, man. Some quick hitters. Might get on some people's nerves in the comments, but it's all good. You're a real one. You're gonna keep it real with me. Lefty point guard out of Queens. You said Kenny Anderson was your favorite player. I need your top 5 point guards in New York City all time. Your top 5.
All time.
That's
time. Tough.
Give me top 3 if you ain't got 5.
See, I got to go with guys that I seen with my own eyes. I don't want people being here like, yo, you forgot.
Yo,
Tiny Archibald. Like, I ain't like.
You ain't see Tiny.
Like,
you ain't see Tiny.
Like,
yeah.
With my own, even though I ain't see Kenny Anderson live, but I seen tapes.
Right.
So Kenny Anderson will always be on my list. Like,
okay.
I'm saying Kenny Anderson. In no order after him, like, because he's one to me. He's the best player ever in New York City, in my opinion.
Got you.
Kenny Anderson. In New York City, Stephon Marbury.
Okay.
Skip.
Okay.
Kenny Anderson, Skip, Steph. One of my favorites, like, I don't care what nobody say that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Omar Cook.
Cook was a bad boy.
Like,
Cook was cold.
Cook.
Yeah.
Give me one.
Give me one more, Cliff. Give me one more.
And it's a lot of guys, but
yeah,
like it's tough. I would have to say my older brother, Deion Jones. Like,
dope.
Of course, like
dope.
So,
That's you played a lot of basketball. I at the beginning of the show, I mentioned you as a basketball lifer. You just been doing it. You just been doing this thing for a long time. Give me your best moment as a player. Give me your worst moment as a player.
My best moment as a player.
Whatever comes to mind. Your best moment as a player. Your worst moment.
My best player as a moment. I don't even know. Like,
okay.
I'd say because it was recent, me hitting the milestone 2,000 assists.
Dope.
Probably one of my best players.
Dope. What was your toughest moment?
My toughest moment as a player. Yeah, ball up too. Fact. Ball up is up there. Right up there. winning. That was the most money I ever won in my life playing
For
basketball.
a
Rah.
tournament.
Ball Up. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a tournament called Ball Up.
Mhm.
We won $500,000 on ESPN with
Oh, that's
Rah.
dope. Yeah.
So that's definitely up there.
Yeah,
Ball
yeah.
Up.
It got to be. Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah, that's up there.
Yeah.
My lowest.
Yeah.
Probably maybe the second time I hurt my knee, because I'm like, oh man, the same knee, same injury.
Okay.
Probably like, damn, like what's gonna happen? I don't even
trying to get back from that injury.
Yeah, it wasn't even hard. It was just like, damn, the same knee. Like, I'm gonna be all right, but
Got you. All right, so you going to your park, your local park.
right.
Now I asked Dot this. Dot is in here,
Right.
so I asked Dot this back when he was on. It's you and 4 other guys. You running the park the whole day. You and 4 other guys. Who you got?
4 other guys.
So you got 5. Who's your 4 other guys?
Man. In the park, right? This is this park, right?
Yeah, just this park pickup.
So I'm gonna go with guys that still playing currently. Like, I can't
Cool.
say, like my bros. Mike Poole
Okay.
is definitely on my list. He's gonna be with me. In the park, that park ball is different.
It's different, Cliff. That's what I need. I want to see where you at.
I'll go with Mike Poole for sure.
Okay.
This is gonna be biased because people like. It's gonna be all right. So I would go with me,
Uh-huh.
2 Holloway,
2. Okay.
Mike Poole,
Okay.
Bell.
Rashard Bell.
Yeah, Bell.
Okay.
Cause this is the park. You get gutted. You feel me?
Okay.
And Dot when he in shape, his fat ass. Yeah, but if he ain't in shape, he ain't on my team. He know that, like, so.
He hear
He'll
you
be
too.
on standby, like.
Yo, he hear you, brother. He hear you, man.
But if Dot on his club, Dot be in the club.
Yeah,
I would go with my Ramel Brown.
Ramel Brown. Okay.
Ramel Brown for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends what Dot is. I don't know where he be. He might just want to watch. You feel me?
Yeah,
And smoke
right,
hookah.
right. Hookah,
So, like,
hookah, and a couple of drinks. You know how he play. You know how he play.
Right. So.
So same park though, right? I've always said that your basketball mind, your basketball IQ, is on another level, right?
Right.
When you talking basketball, right? Give me 3 other guys that if you sitting around talking hoops, who are some guys that you enjoy talking basketball with?
Oh. Talking, of course, Mike Poole. People don't know that Mike Poole got a good basketball nose for the game.
Okay.
Ra knows basketball.
Rod, definitely. Okay.
But there's people before, like my pops, my older brother.
Okay.
There's a couple of people that like, even Ramel Brown. People, it's a couple of people that people know. Ramel Brown, one of my bros named Cal Hunt.
Okay.
Like it's a couple of people that I could talk like.
Yeah.
Like have good combos basketball with, like, facts.
That's
like,
dope. That's dope.
Yeah, like those guys that come to mind for sure.
Okay. You know, you don't want to call yourself a formal trainer, and that's cool, right?
Yeah.
But you are interacting with the youth every day. Every day I open my phone, I see you up early in the morning,
right?
You getting your work in,
getting
your kids working. Then you got another session in the evening with some more. So you really working, brother.
Right.
But for the kids that are watching right now, any kids that are watching right now that are aspiring to, be successful in the game of basketball like yourself,
right?
What message do you have for them right now?
Have long-term goals. And this is coming from a guy that like had success early on, did nothing, but just have long-term goals, like, because like your goals in life ain't to be your best like early on. You want to be at your best like later on, like far as your skills and all, like,
right.
But just if this something you want to do, it ain't even got to be basketball. Just be life. It ain't got to be
Yeah.
basketball. Whatever you love, like, you got to put that daily work in, that daily grind in every
Right.
day. Whatever, like, every day, try to be a little bit better than you was the day before. And if it's something you love, look it up, research it, look at people before you.
Okay.
Try to find your favorite player. Try to watch highlights. Whatever you want to do, like, try to fall in love with the process of the game and the love of the game, and try to develop a passion for it. That way, you know, like, because, you know, at a young age, I knew, like,
Yeah, that you wanted
I
to
know
hoop.
I just want to play basketball. Like,
Right,
that's
right.
just me. Like, it don't work like that for all the kids. Some kids want to play it early, then maybe later on they want to play no more.
Yeah.
But for me, all I know is basketball. Like,
Okay.
I don't have no other hobbies. Like,
Yeah.
sports I watch. I don't care about football, baseball,
Nothing. Hoops.
none of that.
I love
Basketball.
it. I love it.
That's just me. Like,
I love it.
my other hobby before basketball is, people that know me, is watching battle rap. Like, I love battle rap.
Okay.
But anything else is just basketball. I love basketball. That's just me.
That's
So that's what I love. I try to be around people like-minded as me that do the thing. That's another thing for kids growing up. Try to get around kids that do stuff that you like. Because like you said, it's easy to derail, go off track.
Yeah.
Try to get around kids that have the same interest of the thing. If you like basketball, hang around basketball kids.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's that simple.
Real. That's real. That's real. That's simple. What's next for Cliff, man? What's the next move? What's on the horizon? I see this think the game thing, you know, popping up. Talk to me real fast about what's the next move for Cliff?
I don't know. I'm just, honestly, I don't want to sound cliche down, but I'm just letting God control that. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm working on some things. I done talked to some people about certain things, but nothing is concrete.
Okay.
As far as what next. Obviously, I want to stay around the game.
Of
course. I
course.
don't know if I want to hang it up. Like, I'm kind of on the fence of, like, hanging it up or get into coaching right away. But I don't know yet. But only reason why I'm still on the fence about playing, because I still love to play basketball. Basketball is in me.
Yeah.
And I didn't end on my terms. Like,
Okay.
I feel like Halifax, they love me. So I owe them, like, a proper way of going out, if you want to say that. Like, COVID stopped us from playing. Like, I need to go back out and, finish the right way if that's possible.
Okay.
But I also just don't want to be waiting around and seeing what's going on with the league. Because the league as of right now, it's not that much news going on. Like, what's next?
Got you.
I hear things, but I don't really know. So I'm just waiting patiently and see what happens next. So it's either going to be coaching or training. But I'm going to try to do what's best for me and my family, of course. So.
Of course, but you're gonna be close to the game, though, Cliff.
Of course, it's gonna be around the game. It has to be. Like,
you're a basketball lifer. You're a basketball lifer.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be around basketball, for sure.
Well, check it out, man. I got one last question for you, man. Thank you so much. This has been great. You know, been looking forward to getting next to you and making this happen. So thank you, man. But again, you've been watching me from the beginning, kind of build this thing from the ground up. So I appreciate it. If you could recommend anybody for this show, who would it be? And can you help me get them on the show?
Yeah, I got a couple of people. Yeah, I can help you. I got a couple of people that people need to hear their story. Like, I feel like
who comes to mind, and can we help me get that working?
Mike Poole.
Okay.
Rob Wiggins.
Okay.
Kedar Edwards.
So I'm looking at Monday for Kedar. Kedar is supposed to get with me on Monday, so that's
yeah, of course, yeah. I got a lot of people that I recommend, like, and they should come on here for sure. Definitely. But yeah, for sure, I can help you with that. Yeah,
definitely. I appreciate that. Well, brother, again, thank you so much for your time.
My man Dion Merrick. Dion got to come on here.
Hey, Cliff. Tell Dion.
I got you.
He got a message waiting on him. It's in there. It's waiting on him. Whenever he get around to it, he get around to it.
Yeah. Definitely, for sure.
Definitely would love to talk to him, man. Again, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, everybody that was in attendance, good looking, y'all. I appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I don't really be doing these, but I know a lot of people been waiting. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll try to pop out more. But yeah, like, everybody that's in attendance, good looking, man. But I appreciate you, man.
Yo.
I'm tuned in what you're doing. I like what you got going on.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
plus,
Bro.
you from the town, so
Yes, sir.
I had to pop out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I
Again,
mean? It's Queens.
we stick together, brother. Appreciate you
Right.
always, man. This love, boy.
All right, man. Have a good night, man.
All right. You do the same, brother.
All right.
Peace. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. Episode 51 in the books, y'all. That was Clinkscales, y'all. Great story. Great brother. Again, this will be out on all major platforms by tomorrow. You can check it out. You can also check out this video in a few moments if you want to rewatch it. Again, thank y'all so much for tapping in with me. As I said before, check me out Monday, September 6th, y'all. We are transitioning, Balling for Peace. I'll keep y'all updated on what's going on. Again, love y'all. Peace. I'm Flea.